Let's do a real estate photo shoot in the snow. There is our next victim. Ooh, a little chilly. Photographer coming in. All right, first things first, turn on all the lights, check all the blinds, and also make sure the toilet seats are down. Ooh, scary. Blinds are open, those look nice. Lights. If one only turns on and the other does not, you keep them both off. And if that one's blue and this one's orange, you keep them both off. Turn on every light that you can. Accent lighting looks nice. Open up the blinds. Toilet seats down. Oh, that looks weird, huh? I usually like to show the shower heads if possible, but oh well. Blinds open. Every bit of light helps. All right, I'm ready to get started. Every single house, you break it down by room, and there's usually a hero shot, a supporting shot, and a detail shot. So here, we just need a hero shot, which would be our main entrance, then our supporting shot that will show the front door, because we don't like to leave a room unseen. And so if you take a photo this way, you want one photo just looking back. It doesn't have to be the prettiest photo, it just has to be something that's functional to show them what's there. So we're gonna get our main shot here, which is just our walking in the front door. Kind of a cramped room. You want to make sure that you always have 3 walls. 1, 2, 3. Don't cut it off and only have 2, or else it makes it feel even more cramped. So that was our main shot. This is our supporting shot, which just shows what's there and what they see when they walk in. The ones that get all 3 of the main shots, a hero, a supporting, and a detail, are the important rooms. The master bedroom, the dining room, the living room, and the kitchen. Everything else usually gets just the main shot and a supporting shot, just so you can see what the room looks like. So here we're gonna get our main shot. You really wanna make sure all your lines are as straight as they can be. Bracket and not a 3. 3 is for outside. So that's our main hero shot. Now we're gonna get our supporting shot. I usually just do opposing corners. So I choose whatever the main hero shot is that looks best. So that was that corner. And now the supporting corner to show what you couldn't see before. I'm raising up my camera a little bit just to be able to see over this table. Otherwise, we won't see what's behind it very well. So now I'm showing off this little window, the entranceway, this cool little nook or cutout. So that's our main, our supporting. Then we're gonna see if the detail looks good, which would be just kind of straight on to the table. It's okay. I don't like that one. However, I might like looking at it from this direction. This looks cool. Chairs are not straight. Or as straight. Probably could have done this in the beginning. But it's okay. If you pull out a chair from the table, it makes it look like the table has more space around it. And if they're all pushed in, touching the table, it makes the table feel cramped. Alright, so I'm gonna get dead center with this table. Zoom it in. And this will be a nice little detail shot. Yeah. It's nothing crazy, but it's something to show a vibe. I would preferably be further back, like over here, but I don't really want this couch to be in it. It's mostly hidden. Okay, I don't hate that. Now we've got a cool little bit of framing with this. All right, so we have our three main photos. We have our hero shot that shows the main area of the room, our supporting shot, which shows what we're missing, and now this is our detail shot that looks pretty cool straight on. That room's done. I can move on confidently knowing that it is captured. Now I'm breaking down the living room. I'm gonna get my main hero shot, which should be about here. Nice and wide, showing off the whole room and all three walls, even if it's just a sliver. Trying not to cut off things. I try not to have half a window. You want to have like a nice complete border. So that's our main hero shot. I'm going to hit our supporting shot, which will be from this end. And while I'm doing that, I'm looking for where the nice detail might be. Because detail shots are usually straight on shots or zoomed in on something specific like a fireplace. We don't really have a fireplace here. And so then it's like I could go straight on with the main couch, which is fine. Or I can go straight on with these windows and it shows off the room a little bit better. So I think I'm going to try that. You choose what you want as the middle of the room. So I'm going for that middle post. And then I know I can put the middle of my camera directly on that as long as I lined up the camera well, as far as physically being in line. And now I can zoom or unzoom. I think that'll look good. That's a nice little detail shot that again just gives more context to the room. So here's our three main shots: detail, supporting, and main. Not bad. Moving on. This room does not need so many photos. So we're gonna get our main shot just to show the length of the room. Now our supporting shot, I'm just gonna go dead center instead of trying to hit the opposing corner. So they can see what's behind us. All right, now for the kitchen. Okay, let's find our hero shot, which I think is going to be right here. The kitchen is the only place where I bring the camera up a bit higher. You don't want to see underneath these cabinets. So you watch your camera and you go just until it stops seeing underneath the counters, and that's how you know it's ready. So here's our main hero shot for the kitchen. It gives a sliver of the window on the left. It gives us a sliver, gives us the window, main side. That looks nice. Then we're gonna do our supporting shot, which will be here, looking this way. We'll just go wide. Kitchens can get a little tricky. They have some weird layouts sometimes. But this is just kind of showing a standard room shot. Our first shot showed all of these appliances, main sink. This supporting shot showed the fridge. And now I want to hit another corner to show this wall. Because so far we've seen what this looks like. We've seen what the wall I'm standing on looks like, but we have not seen that little nook. And so I'm doing another room shot to show that nook and a little bit of this. They can see that there's a back door there. They can see the nook and the fridge and where you walk in at. So whole room's fully covered. So I guess that's two supporting shots for this kitchen, a main hero shot, and now we're gonna get a detail shot. Usually it's either of the sink or the stove, whichever one looks the coolest. But I'm gonna line it up straight with the sink, and I'm gonna zoom in a bit. I'm gonna zoom in perfectly dead center, and that'll look nice. Good little detail shot. All right, in total, we got our main image, supporting image, detail shot. Let's move on to the dungeon. Dun, dun, dun. Some of these stairs can be scary. Down here, I literally just, especially when it's a basement like this, you really just need to show what's here. It obviously does not need to be very pretty. So I'm gonna get the corner here, corner over there. Actually, I don't even think I'm gonna do a corner. I'm gonna just show where the washer and dryer is. 6 seconds. Whew. Alright, let's get this washer and dryer real quick and run out of here. And I'm gonna lower this f-stop and bring up my ISO just a little bit. And that will make this move on significantly quicker. 1.3 seconds instead of 6. We'll take that. All right. Last floor. Get upstairs. For bathrooms, I usually try to have just one shot. Usually don't have to do a supporting one looking back. However, the layout of some bathrooms, you won't be able to see that there is a shower. And so then I'll get the main shot of the sink and then the supporting shot of the shower. This one I can get it all in one shot, so I don't have to worry about two. Now, one of these is technically the master. I guess this is probably the master since there wasn't one on the main floor. Normally for masters, I like to get a detail shot, but sometimes there just isn't something you want a detail of. And so for this one, we're just gonna stick to our standard, get the main hero shot, and our supporting shot. That's our main. I'll bring back up my f-stop to 8. And this is our supporting. Don't really need much more than that here. While I'm going, I will turn off these lights. I don't have to come back. As long as I don't see them in my upcoming images, I am okay to turn them off. And again, for this room, we're gonna do our main image and our supporting. I'm going to use this door as my third wall because I want to show this back wall with the windows. So the door becomes my third wall in a sense. And I'll close it to not block the view. And this will be our big room shot showing how large the room actually is. In a sense, this is kind of more like our hero image, but that's the only two that we need. Now it's time to go outside into the snow after I turn off all the lights. Woohoo! Look at that. Now we need to switch our photo count from 5 to 3 for HDR. 5 to 3. I usually like to get just one looking from the house out. And that's just for context. You know, that's kind of more of a supporting image, not a main. Now we're going to show off this parking spot and the garage with the house in the background to show that they have this whole private entrance and the private garage. Alright, one of 3 images. I guess 4 with that supporting shot, but I usually like to get side angle, dead on, and another side angle. When I do one side angle, it should be pretty wide. When you do straight on, it should be pretty zoomed in and focused on the house by itself. You're not worried about showing space. That's what the corners are for. On this one, we want to show what the house looks like. So we want to be centered and zoom in as much as you can to get rid of the other houses. But don't cut off your house, obviously. So it's nice and punched in, shows exactly what the house looks like from behind. Now we're gonna get one more wide shot to show the rest of the yard back here. All right. So now our 4 images for the backyard is this wide angle showing this section of the yard, our zoomed in of the house only straight on, and then our last wide angle showing the garage, and for context what it looks like from the house looking this way. That is a fully covered yard. All right, now for the front of the house, I will again just give context for what it looks like when you look out onto the street from the front door. You can see my beautiful truck there that I will get started. And now, before I go down these steps, I want to get one up here of the front door straight on, just so that way I don't have to come back up for it. This is more of a detail shot, so just straight on detail of the front door. Then again, you have your main 3 images, your wide, your straight on, and your other wide corner. Whoa, whoa, it's pretty deep. So we're gonna get wide, show off everything. Then we're gonna get straight on and really only focus on the house, not as much the yard. So let's get back here. There you go. We're making sure you choose your center, which is the middle of those 2 windows at the very top. And I'm gonna zoom in just up until I don't cut off the stairs. I want to make sure the house is still the main focus, so actually I will cut off the stairs. Just a little bit. And lastly, our wide from this side. Since I did the wide on the path there, I'm going to do the wide on this side off the path and more in the road. And there you have it. Here's the front of the house, our 3 main shots. Because you don't always have to get that supporting shot. Sometimes you don't want to show what it looks like on the road, whether there's ugly cars or whatever. But you do want to have these 3 main shots. So here's our side angle, our straight on of the house by itself, and then our final supporting image, plus a little detail shot to show off the cool door. And the supporting shot are all user discretion if you think they're worth getting. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's worth a couple more. But for a house like this, it was pretty basic. And that's how you don't overshoot a property, but still show enough. Alrighty, catch you later.